Welcome to Ryco Workshop Heroes. I'm Luke Oxley, and today we're at Tickford Racing's base of operations here in Melbourne. I'm going to go inside and take a look at what goes on behind the scenes. Just the man we've come to see.
G'day, Luke.
How you going?
How are you?
Luke.
Good to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you.
How are you?
I was just admiring your trophy cabinet.
Yeah.
Looks like you are fast running out of space there.
It's a testament to where we've come from and where we started to where we are now. So yeah, it's great to show people like yourselves what we're capable of doing.
Yeah. Well, you're going to give us a bit of a tour today of your pretty impressive facility.
Yeah, for sure. Come through.
All right.
There's the boys' tea room, and again another cabinet to showcase. Yeah, we've got a few prize winners' trophies in there that we do like to show off. One being the Bathurst Trophy. There's a championship trophy there. There's plenty of Sandown 500s and Gold Coast, quite big accolades to add to the collection.
Anyway, let's have a look in the workshop where all the action happens.
We'll start at the heart of the core of the race team. This is the engine shop.
Little Ford Windsor there.
Yeah, well, they're a 5 litre Windsor.
Yeah.
They punch out about 650 horsepower, so not very little, so to speak. We do our own engines, manufacturing, assembly. We've got our in-house dyno here, so one of the very few teams that still does our own product, I guess, as an engine. Yeah, if we come further down here, we've got this is our dyno facility. So this is where we run engines in, tune them, and put them through their paces before we put them in the car. Because ultimately, we need to be able to put an engine in and go, 100% straight out the gate.
Do they get checked after every round?
Yep.
On here?
Yep. We baseline them. We've always got to ensure we're keeping maximum horsepower. In the car, because it's so important that we maintain maximum performance, and every little bit counts.
How many engines would you have?
Yeah, we've got 16 engines in total. Obviously, we operate with 5 cars, so we've got 3 main VCS cars this year. We've got the wildcard car with Thomas, and obviously we've got our Super 2 car.
I guess a lot of people would always ask, what sort of life would you get out of an engine before a freshen up? That doesn't necessarily mean anything's wrong.
Yeah, well, this year and last year the rules mandate you've got to be able to achieve 5,000 kilometres before you can tear the engine down and rebuild it. And after the 5,000 k's, they're fairly well used. So we'll do a full cylinder head rebuild. New pistons, conrods, and everything goes. Yeah, we crack test the block and crank and all the hard parts. They seem to do, they can do 20 to 30,000 k's before they're out of life. But certainly all the rotating assemblies, they get replaced every 5,000 k's. So just down to the sheer stresses of them.
Just touching on the oil system, Ryco, the reason we're here, obviously Ryco is your filtration partner?
Yeah, so we couldn't be happier with the actual oil filter they're supplying with us at the moment. We went down to the R&D department when we first were introduced to Ryco, and extremely impressed. We've actually gained 1 or 2 horsepower out of their system. So yeah, we're more than impressed with what product they.
And this is the Syntec range. So roughly, what's something like this worth? I'd be thinking up around 6 figures for a complete engine.
Oh yeah, and some. Yeah, I mean, look, it's really hard to put an exact figure, because a lot of it is bespoke to us.
Yes.
There's
a lot of R&D, isn't there?
Yeah,
we price on.
We design our own cylinder head. We design our own intake manifold systems, and it is very hard to put a price on it. But look, if you had to try and sell it in the open market, I mean, you could probably ask between $140,000 and $160,000 by the time you put $20,000 price tag on exhaust and all the rest of your internals. They're such an expensive unit. So
And that's not touching on all the electronic side of it.
Yeah, that's
extremely
right.
expensive too, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we run Motec systems, which is also, you know, you don't get much change out of about $25,000. So already just with, you know, electronics and exhaust, you're at around 50,000. You haven't even bought a pair of cylinder heads and block and crank and. So yeah, you wouldn't get much change out of about 160, I reckon.
Well, let's have a look at some of the machining services you guys do in house, so you really don't have to outsource much at all.
No, so we're basically a one-stop shop. The resource that we've got in house is basically we've got everything covered. So from machine shop, fabrication, sub-assembly, our own sign shop.
Yep. So you do all your own vehicle wraps?
Yep.
Yeah. That's one of the best looking cars on the circuit, I reckon.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that.
The flat black with the green just looks great.
Yeah, it stands out. It is a great looking race car, and I think black race cars do look faster.
Oh yeah, so you've got some CNC.
Yep.
machining
So
services?
we've got 6 CNC machines, and basically this department, you know, supports the race team a lot. You know, we manufacture basically everything billet material that goes on the cars, from, you know, engine sumps to brake hats to uprights, steering racks, you name it, we make it.
The oiling system, that would have a lot of bespoke parts, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I've got some samples over here I can show you. So this is an engine sump. Obviously it's an old one.
Yep.
You know, this probably takes 50 hours for a machine to manufacture, but it also reduced our running costs, having the capability and the ability to make such a piece in-house. You know, we do right down to our own sockets for our wheel guns, for the pit crew. So
you're able to make really anything you need here, aren't you?
Absolutely.
There must have been a few times where you've had to quickly make something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, even I can remember years gone by, you know, we were damaging steering arms at Homebush, and we were going for the championship that year, and, you know, we manufactured steering arms on a Saturday night, flew them up Saturday night, put them on the cars for Sunday, and, you know, that brought us home the championship. So it doesn't matter what time of day it is, we could always come in here and turn the lights on, flick the switch, and the machines can, pump out the parts. Yeah, so we've got 4 full-time guys in here. You basically got a machinist per 2 machines. We've got some manual mills and lathes out the back. We've got our own cylinder head room where we do all our own cylinder head work. So basically anything that's welded together is produced in here. So right here we do our own chassis manufacturing. So we basically start with all the box section and tube. So we tube out the car from exhaust to suspension arms to cross members, you name it. We'll fabricate it up in here. So so the pressure can be on these guys to turn the car around, especially when we've only got a 3 or 4 day turnaround. So in here, sub-assembly.
This is what you'd call your clean room, yeah?
Yeah. The cleanest room in the department, in the whole of.
Well, it has to be, doesn't it, for what you're doing in here?
So anything non-engine related that rotates comes out of here. So gearboxes, steering uprights, steering racks, brake calipers, clutches. We mentioned that we run a lot of carbon fibre componentry on these cars, and you can see young Alex over here is actually making a set of.
How you going?
He's actually making a set of brake ducts that we just saw on the upright.
Yep.
So this is the bagging process that's happening right now. So Alex has been laying up on a mould with a high temperature carbon, and then he's vacuum bagging it, and then we'll go and put it in our autoclave. Okay. This is part of the brake duct that Alex is making at the moment. So it's quite a high quality component.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually aircraft grade. People think race cars is they're all fine and dandy, but they're actually they're real brutal pieces of machinery. Yeah. They're rough and rugged, so they've got to be able to cop a pounding basically. especially when they're at the street circuit or constantly bouncing off curbs and crashing in the walls and stuff like that. Out here we've got the car preparation bay. So yeah, this is where the 4 main VCS cars are aligned. They're all prepared basically in unison together. All the guys work together and simultaneously. There's 2 mechanics per car. We've got our Super 2 car down there. That's also prepared in line with the main series cars. So this is the car that Chaz Mostert crashed at Gold Coast in 2019.
Okay.
So it's had a full rebuild because we had to replace basically that front rail, all that tube work on the right hand side, the wheel well area, the floor cross, the floor under the driver's seat was damaged. So this has had quite an extensive
It looks brand
rebuild.
new. Well, you can see it obviously isn't, but
Yeah, so
and you can see a lot of the carbon parts you were.
Yeah, so
touched on
it's
earlier.
referring to things like the dash pad, the plenum chamber, ECU trays. What cost us fitting here is the driver safety capsule.
Yeah, and there's just a sheer amount of wiring that goes into these.
Yeah, you wouldn't get much change out of about $35,000 to $40,000 for wiring. It's aircraft grade wiring, so it's high resistance, high temp, strong core wire.
Is this going to be a spare car or?
Yeah, so this will go back into the fleet, becomes a spare car. We might even race it 1 or 2 rounds as a wild card next year. We'll see what happens and what comes along. But in this industry, especially when you're racing, 1 to 2 week apart, and you seriously damage one of your main cars, you need to have a going concern spare.
So the oil and fuel system is obviously an integral part of any supercar. Do you want to give us a bit of a run through from the back to the front?
We rely very heavily on the Z5000 fuel filter system. We run a twin filtration system because obviously we need to have the cleanest fuel possible.
Yep.
Basically it runs from the fuel tank all the way through the cabin into the engine.
And these are all obviously Ryco off-the-shelf parts you guys use, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. It's the same as the oil filter. The average person can go and buy it off the shelf and put it in their high performance or standard road car. It's a good collaboration that Ryco have built with Tickford. We prove the parts on our race cars, and then they offer that to their everyday customers.
Thanks for showing us around Tickford's amazing facility, mate.
No worries, Luke. Anytime, mate.
On the next episode of Ryco's Workshop Heroes, we'll check out another amazing Aussie workshop. But until then, for all your filtration servicing needs, check out rycofilters.com.au.